guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Blessing. It's nice to meet you. And if you're returning, thank you for coming right back. This channel talks mainly on self-development. We talk mainly on marriage, Christianity, femininity, lifestyle, and all of that. Okay, so if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, do well to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you get notified every single time a new video is uploaded. Okay, so today we're gonna go right into it, and I have my jotter with me. Like I always say, I try the best I can to jot out key points so I don't talk amiss. I don't talk and you understand. So just for the sake of not really wasting our time, I just have to do what I have to do as quick as possible. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a self-development topic, which is something that I've actually experienced in my lifetime, and I feel like in this part of the world, like here in Africa, it is a lot more rampant. We tend to find it really hard to get to develop ourselves, like for ourselves. We find it really hard to love ourselves. We find it really hard to grow, to do the self work that would help us in other areas of our lives as well. Do you get? So that is why I have dedicated my life with pleasure to help us in our self-development journey, okay, and to help us evolve, become a better version of ourselves, and to grow, obviously. So today we're going to be talking about self-esteem. This is something that I wouldn't want to start talking about stories right now, so but yeah, I experienced low self-esteem at some point in my life for some reasons that definitely will be stated here. Okay, and like I said earlier, it is a lot more rampant in this part of the world due to the fact that we grew up with a lot of childhood traumas. We grew up with a lot of fear and anxiety in us, and we just tend to follow the same circle until we're old and grey. Do you get? So self-esteem, what can you say self-esteem is actually? To me, I feel like self-esteem is how well you can actually esteem yourself, how well you value yourself, what you can say confidently about yourself, like how well you've been able to study yourself and to know how you act, the way you react, and all of that, like all in one. Okay, things you can say, like these are the things you actually like, these are the things you dislike, these are the things you don't want, these are the boundaries you have to put in place for stuff not to happen to you or to affect you, because you realize that nobody can take care of you like you can take care of yourself. Do you get? And you realize that nobody can actually esteem you more than you can esteem yourself. As a matter of urgency, the way you esteem yourself is the way the world will see you. Okay, how you see yourself is the way the world will actually see you. If you don't see yourself as somebody if you don't actually give yourself value, nobody will value as much as you value yourself. Okay, we're going to be going extensively into all of that in this video, so please stay tuned till the end. Okay, so components of self-esteem: we have security, we have identity, we have belonging, we have competence, and we have purpose. Okay, security, identity, belonging, competence, and purpose. Are you secured in yourself? Can you beat your chest, okay, and say you have security in yourself? Okay, you're not what's it called, after what other people think about you, what other people have to say about you. Okay, are you competent? Okay, do you know your purpose? Do you know your purpose? Do you know where you belong? Okay, and yes, do you know who you are? Do you have an identity? Do you know who you are when it comes to identity? So types of self-esteem: we have the low self-esteem, we have the high self-esteem, we have the healthy self-esteem, which is supposed to be the high, but I actually added an extra, which is like the overly high self-esteem. So I also had to put the healthy self-esteem. Okay, we have the low self-esteem, we have the high self-esteem, we have the low self-esteem, we have the healthy self-esteem, and we have the overly high self-esteem, which I'm going to be talking about eventually as well. So the low self-esteem, what causes low self-esteem? Like I said earlier, okay, it stems from childhood traumas. It stems from having to walk on eggshells around people around you, your parents who are usually unstable, people around you, your siblings. Okay, I want to try that, and they're like, would you stop that? They just felt like you had to be this normal. You have to be just plain normal. Okay, as a child, you can't do anything extra, and if you decide to do anything extra, you're punished for it. You are told to do something that would maybe make you feel like you did wrong. Do you get? So all of that just tends to like contribute in weathering us down, making us feel like, I beg, we just can't kill ourselves anymore. We're just normal. We don't want to do anything extra. Do you get? Just want to follow the norm and just be like every other person, which is not supposed to be so. Actually, everybody is unique in their own way. Do you get? And we're supposed to be given that freedom from childhood to actually freely express ourselves. You're being hurt as a child and you can't even express yourself because you feel like you'll get punished for expressing yourself as a child. So all of that contributes to having low self-esteem when growing up. Okay, you can't do anything on your own from a very tender age, even at a matured stage in your life. Okay, when you're probably away from home, probably in a tertiary institution and stuff, you are still being told from home what to do. Do you get? So you can't trust your own decisions anymore because you are so used to having to hear from your siblings, from your parents, or from whoever is around you, or even in school. Do you understand? So it all contributes to low self-esteem. Okay, signs of low self-esteem is you engage in people-pleasing activities. Okay, you do things to your own detriment. You just do things to make people happy. As long as they're happy, you think you're fine, even if it is strenuous on yourself, even if it is stressful emotionally, physically, psychologically. You don't tend to really take that to mind. As long as people around you are happy, I mean, it is so wrong. Okay, the first person to actually really take care of is yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, nobody will actually take care of you like you would do yourself. So it is very, very important. Lack of trust in yourself. You don't trust yourself. You want to engage in anything. You want to probably start a business. You want to travel to a particular destination. You want to start something new. You want to start a routine and stuff, and you are asking everybody around you, what do you think? I want to invest in this business. What do you think is your opinion? I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't get professional opinion, especially in the area of investment. But when it comes to areas that would help develop you, okay, mentally, spiritually, financially, psychologically, and all of that, you don't ask people's opinion. Okay, you have to learn to trust yourself. So if you have lack of self-trust, where you cannot do anything without anybody validating you, it simply means you have a degree of low self-esteem. Okay, you have a degree of low self-esteem. You don't reinforce boundaries. Anybody can come to you, take what's yours, whenever, do to you whatever they like, and you don't complain. I mean, you are okay like that. I mean, whatever. It's very, very wrong, you guys. You don't do that. Okay, you don't allow people come and make you feel uncomfortable just because of you're trying not to step on anybody's toes, or you're trying to please everybody. You make sure you, first of all, you learn yourself. You learn to love yourself. By the time you learn to love yourself, you tend to look into yourself, and you know the things you can't take. You know the things that once they are done to you, it hurts you. Okay, it makes you feel unhappy, makes you feel uncomfortable. Learn to set these boundaries with people, especially people that are really close to you. And if you're somebody in the workplace who have, for example, in a work setting where you get to meet people every single day, okay, you get to meet individuals who don't even care, who tend to act overboard whenever they are with you. Okay, you have to learn to set boundaries. Okay, it is very, very, very important. So you are afraid of conflict. You don't want to hurt anybody, and because of that, you just feel like let it just slide. I mean, after all, After all, it doesn't really change anything. Let it slide. I don't mind. I don't want to hurt his feelings. I don't want to hurt. What about your feelings? What about you? Okay, if you're not happy with it, state it. Say it out bluntly. You don't owe anybody. You don't. I mean, you come first. Okay, you are meant or supposed to come first. That is like the most important thing right now. You're meant to come first. Don't be scared of anybody, you guys. Don't be scared of anybody. Whatever is not whatever is happening to you, if somebody is actually doing something to you you don't like, state it, say it. Whatever comes, okay, you guys will be all right eventually, as long as you've been able to state your mind. And when I'm talking about being afraid of conflict, I'm talking about in all areas and facets of life, in marriage or in public gatherings, amongst yourself as a family, amongst siblings. Okay, whenever you're being put down and you're not happy about it, whenever you're being treated in a manner or a way where you're not really comfortable with, it is very, very important to state it, say it out as it is, and tell them you're not happy, you're not having it. Okay, it's very, very, very important. So the healthy self-esteem is you being very confident in. It's like the opposite of the low self-esteem. You've been very confident in yourself. Like I said, components of self-esteem. You're secured in yourself. Okay, you know where you belong. You know the things you like and things you don't like. You know what you can take from anybody and what you cannot take. Do you get? They tend to term you as strict. I mean, your mental health, physical health, psychological health is most important, especially to you, before anybody else. Okay, the boundaries you set around yourself is what people would actually follow. Do you get? If you don't, if you don't set these boundaries, and if you're not confident in yourself, they tend to look down on you. It becomes like a continuous process. Do you get? So someone who is confident and commands attention easily. I mean, people used to have this perception of me when I was actually growing up, and they're like, who does she think she is? She's always feeling herself. I mean, if I don't feel myself, who will feel me? Nobody will. Do you get? I don't care who you are or what you have. It doesn't mean I'm not respectful, okay? But I don't care who you are or what you have at the time. What happens is that I value myself over anything else, over anybody else, over any material thing else. Do you get? That is who I am, and that's how I've actually learned to live my life over time. Okay, I walk into a room and all my attention is not around the room. All my attention is on me. All my energy. I don't tend to share my energy around people or look around and I'm like, oh my god, she's more pretty than myself, or he's more cute than myself. I focus all my energy on myself. Okay, and because of that, it makes it really, really easy. If you have a healthy self-esteem, it makes it very, very easy to to compliment everybody. You see somebody who is pretty, who is cute, you don't have to feel sad. I mean, she's better than me and stuff. That is a sign of low self-esteem. Okay, you are free to like, oh my god, I love your bag, I love your hair, I love your shoe. I mean, you look pretty. It's not hard. I don't find it hard to do at all. Okay, and that's because I'm secured in my own self. I am secured in my own self. I know that I am as pretty as I am. I'm pretty as, I don't use the F word, sorry. So signs of a healthy self-esteem is you do not people please. Okay, you don't people please at all. You already know that. I mean, you've been able to actually understand yourself to the points whereby you don't have to do anything to please anybody. If you're not happy about it, you are not doing it. Do you get? I had to like come up with 3 rules to guide my life since the age of 20. Okay, and one of this rule I'll be saying right now, because it is actually related to this particular topic, and that is, do not start what you cannot finish. Do you get? If you know that if you start this particular thing to please this person now, you cannot continue in the long run, what happens is that you don't even start it at all. Okay, they can call you selfish or self-centered, whatever. You matter a lot more to yourself than to every other person. Frankly speaking, aside aside Jesus Christ, who is our savior in heaven, I don't think you matter to anybody else like the way you should matter to yourself. Do you get? Even to your spouse, because nobody's perfect. Your spouses are just there. Okay, to an extent you matter to your spouses, but you are meant to matter a lot more to your own self compared to your spouse. Okay, so it's very important you don't people please when you have a healthy self-esteem. Okay, you're not afraid of setback. If you've been able to cultivate your self-esteem, in the process of cultivating your self-esteem, what happens is that you begin to gain confidence in yourself. And when you have confidence in yourself, you begin to look for ways to grow. You begin to try new things. Okay, and in this process of trying new things, you are in a healthy self-esteem, you guys. You don't care what anybody has to say. You don't have to ask for anybody's opinion to do anything. If at all you have issues, you have setbacks when trying to understand yourself and understand your purpose, or when trying to grow, you don't feel like oh my God, what will people think? Okay, you don't care. You don't care what people have to think, because you know that it's all about you. Every setback is more like a stepping stone to actually really knowing who you really are. Do you get? So you're not afraid to fail as long as you know that you can actually pick yourself right up. So thirdly, you don't feel inferior. Like I stated earlier, when I walk into a room, regardless of the caliber of people I meet there, I don't feel inferior. I know that I focus my energy on myself. Okay, I know that I am confident in myself, and all I do instead is admire you. Instead, I admire you. I come to you and I'm like, okay, you have something that I like. Okay, and most times I get to make conversations to get to learn one or two things from you, where I don't feel like, oh my God, she's so clean, she's so beautiful, I can't talk to her, I am scared. No, I don't do that. So you don't feel inferior if you have a healthy self-esteem. Okay, wherever you walk into, wherever you go to, regardless of the people you meet there or who you encounter there, you don't feel scared. You don't feel like peeing in your pants because you are in an environment where you are not really familiar with, or I don't know. So you don't feel inferior at all as somebody who has a healthy self-esteem. Okay, you are able to voice out your needs and opinions. You are able to speak up. You are able to talk, you guys. In a public speaking gathering and people are being asked of their separate opinions, and you're just there looking, and it's not as if you don't actually have an opinion. No, you actually do have an opinion, but you don't know how to stand up. You don't even know how to voice it out. You don't know how to speak. And then somebody stands up to speak and you're like, what is she feeling? You have inferiority. In fact, you have inferiority complex. You have a very low self-esteem. Okay, firstly, you can't stand up to talk, and somebody stands up to talk, air her views, air her opinions, okay, confidently, and you are being angry that she's airing her views and opinions. It's very, very wrong. Ways to boost your self-esteem. Number one is, remember that nobody's better than the other. Nobody. Everybody was created the exact same way. Everybody came to the world the exact same way. Everybody's unique in their own beautiful ways. Do you get? Nobody's more than you. The only thing I can say when it comes to individuals is that the amount of work they've been able to put in themselves individually. If you see somebody you admire and you feel like, she's so good, she's so confident in herself, it's simply because she's actually done her self work. Okay, she has developed herself. Do you get? She has been able to develop herself. So all you have to do, you guys, is work on yourself. Okay, work on your self development in all areas. Confidence, emotional intelligence, all of that, self-esteem. Work on yourself. As soon as you are able to work on yourself, you realize that it's even possible that you are even better than the person in question. Do you get? So work on yourself. It's very, very, very important. So challenge negative thoughts. Okay, we all have this voice in our head that usually tend to criticize us all the time without even having to ask anybody. We all have this voice in our head. You want to try something new, and you hear that voice at the back of your head saying stuff like, are you sure you want to try this? Are you sure you are fit to do this? Are you sure you can do it? Challenge it. In fact, I started to practice something recently. Whatever I try to do, whatever I think about doing, and I hear the voice saying, can you? Are you sure you can? Because of that thing I heard, I go all out to do it, so that I'll be able to tell that voice at the back of my head that, I mean, you don't have a say over my life. Do you get? I should be the one calling the shots and not you. So it's very, very important. Challenge that negative thoughts you usually have, putting yourself down by yourself. Before you even go out, the first person that puts you down is yourself. Okay, because first of all, the thoughts, whatever you want to embark on, whatever you want to do, starts from inside of you. And by the time you start thinking about it, and you're like, okay, I think I want to start this particular thing or start this particular thing, and you're thinking about, and you're like, you're not beautiful enough, you're not fluent enough, you don't speak properly, you are scared and stuff, you end up not even starting out at all. So the best thing to do is to challenge that thought by actually starting and doing that particular thing you've actually wanted to do all along. So look after yourself. Very, very important. Look after yourself, you guys. Make sure that you're looking pretty all the time. When I say look after yourself, I'm talking about in all areas, not just the physical aspects now. I'm talking about mentally. Look after yourself mentally. Look after yourself psychologically. Okay? Look after yourself. Okay, also when it comes to the physical aspects, make sure you exercise regularly. In fact, do major self-work, you guys. Okay, be happy, love yourself, look after yourself. It's very, very important. Okay, it's the way you look after yourself, that's how the world will look after you. Make sure you are always looking after yourself. It's very, don't look after others first, look after yourself first. It's very, very important. Then treat yourself as your best friend. Talk to yourself. It's allowed. Okay, in the areas where I practice something regularly, and at the end of the day I journal at the end of the day, like all the time. Okay, I ask myself questions. What happened today? What were the things that made you upset, made you angry? What are the things that made you tired? Or why couldn't you really achieve all of those things you were supposed to achieve? And in all of that, it's not as though I tend to blame myself. I don't. I just talk myself up, and I'm like, okay, tomorrow we go again and stuff. And this time around, I make sure that I do what I need to do. Do you understand? So, we've already talked about like the importance, the science of a healthy self-esteem. We've talked about the importance of self-esteem. The importance is actually very, very important in all areas of your life. It's very, very important to have self-esteem in all areas of your life. If you have low self-esteem, it's going to affect you in your workplace. It's going to affect you in marriage. Low self-esteem will affect you in marriage. I think I'm going to do a separate video on anxiety, self-esteem in marriage. It would affect you seriously in marriage. If you have low self-esteem, you'll be so scared. You see your husband with somebody who is prettier than yourself. Because of you actually have low self-esteem, you actually begin to fidget. Like, why is he speaking to this person? Why is he calling her? Why is he talking to her? I mean, you guys, it's very, very bad thing. Okay, in the place of work, it affects you seriously. You can't even function properly because you're always thinking of what everybody thinks about you. You're always thinking about what everybody has to say. It's completely wrong, and it will really ruin your career if at all you don't work on it as soon as possible. Okay, so when I added an extra overly high self-esteem, okay, too much of everything is bad. It's just a fact. Okay, too much of everything is bad. And when it comes to self-esteem, it tends to become arrogant. You don't care what anybody has to say. You don't care what anybody has to say. I mean, you just don't care. You are just all in your head. Okay, people are beginning to complain about your character and your attitude, and you feel like, I mean, you don't care. I mean, everybody should go to hell. That's not a trait of a healthy self-esteem. Okay, you are supposed to be able to in as much as you love yourself, you fix boundaries. You don't do it solely or purposely to inflict pain on others. No. Okay, it's just to make you happy and all of that. So that's all for self-esteem. Like I said, the importance of a healthy self-esteem is you are secured in yourself. You are secured in yourself. You trust yourself. You are happy in yourself. You love yourself. You know who you are. You know where you belong. You are competent. You can stand your ground and state, okay, what you wish to state without having to fidget or without having to be scared. Okay, so you know your purpose, you know where you belong and all of that. So right here, right now, we've come to the end of this particular video. It was really nice talking about this topic, you guys. So guys, if you're subscribed to my channel, please do not subscribe. If you've subscribed, please click on the notification bell so you get notified every single time a new video is uploaded. And